But every time I cut this wire, it sends such a shock through my body that I end up gritting my teeth. And I take care of my teeth, and I don't want to do anything to break them or whatever. So here goes the dumb part. When I cut, I have to stick my tongue between my teeth, my top and bottom teeth, so I don't bite them. Yep. I know it may look dumb, but guess what? I have all my teeth. Just thought about that. How many redneck country boys my age do you know who still have all their teeth? And that's probably why. So Jamie, hate on. Hey folks, Lester here. So today me and my helpers are going to do a little job. We're going to connect, we're going to build a new fence. We're going to come from that corner of the barn right there, and we're going to come straight across and tie in right over here beside Petunia's little hangout. And after I do that, I'll be able to open up this gate and let the littles come into the pasture and finally be able to experience their part of the barn. All right, so the supplies that we'll need for this job are pretty basic. 4 things really. I need post to put into the ground. I will use concrete to make sure those posts are solid and don't wiggle and move. You know, those goats are known for pushing up against these fences. And having those post concrete at the end, especially with this soft soil, will make them where they don't budge. After I get the post in the ground, I will put up the panels. And once the panels are up, I will come by with 2 of these corral board, one on the top and one about 3/4 of the way down to kind of make sure no one's pushing themselves through. All right. So it's very important that your very first post especially is perfectly squared up, leveled up. And so if this one here can be straight, then that means that all the other ones should stay right in line. Good. So I'll get it ready, then I'll put concrete in the bottom. I'll water this concrete down, and this post will be here, folks. All right, so I run the string line. You can see the string I've connected here. It's going to go straight down, and what helps me with that is that now every post that I set, all I have to do is move the post back to where it is barely touching the string, and that guarantees that I'm going to have a straight fence. All right, so I've made sure my post is straight. I've also made sure that my post is level. Good. I've added the concrete. Now just add the water. It's ready mix, so this water will react with it, and it will be hard and solidify in just a couple of hours. Stomping is something that my dad taught me. If I was to just put this post in the ground and put dirt or concrete around it, what you might not realize is how much air is packed and trapped inside that, and it will never get a tight fit. All right, friends, I've got all my posts in the ground. Everything's concreted in. I want to show you how straight this fence line is, or it's going to be. So yeah, using that string is huge. Now I've already put my concrete in the ground. I've watered it all. So now that concrete has to cure, has to set for a little bit, a couple of hours at least, and harden. And I don't want to do a whole lot of stapling and hammering on my fence right now, or else I can loosen those posts before they're ready. Oh, this is a boring job. But it is going to make things a whole lot prettier. Folks, now this is trouble. Now Pig Trudy's showing up. I had to skip a post. Had to skip that post right there. You know why, right? Anyone wonder why I skipped that one post? Pig Trudy. Folks, all work has just come to a screeching halt. All of my work has just come to a screeching halt because Pig Trudy is trying to go to every post and rub herself up against it. Trudy, baby, now she's painted half of herself white. Baby. All right, folks, I've come back a couple hours later and I got all my fence posts painted, and I think that I've allowed the concrete to cure in the ground long enough. So what I'm doing now is starting to put my cattle panels, excuse the hand, cattle panels. And what I had to do, as you can see, because the ground is not level here, I did not want to have a fence that does all this kind of stuff. So it's important that you get the ground level. So what I did was I dug down a little bit. I put my level on the wire here and made sure that it was inside the bubble. And so now I can make sure that all of my fence posts, you can see how the other fence over here, everything stays nice and straight. So now what I've done is put the corral board. So you want to make sure it's level. And I always put one about halfway through. So this actually serves two purposes. Number one, I've already stapled my panel in there, but putting the corral board on top adds the next layer of protection so that if animals begin to push against it, they really can't push it out. All right, folks. One of the hardest things about doing projects is when you have to do them by yourself, and you have to find ways to make things work for you and not to use I don't have any help as an excuse. So what I do to help someone, quote unquote, hold the board for me while I level it is put a screw. That screw is not actually in the board, but the board sitting on top of it. I put one on both ends, and so I can set my board there, and then I do all my leveling from the center. Now that it's all leveled, I screw it in one time, and it's literally just resting on the screws on the end. I can come now and take those screws out and screw them right into the board. And as you can see, it's coming along nicely. And what I can do now is come back when I'm ready and paint these corral boards very easily. But the post on the bottom has already been painted. So as I'm not trying to paint around all of this stuff or paint that, which looks really tacky. You might be asking yourself, Lester, why are you working from the outsides towards the middle? And that's pretty easy. So what I'm gonna have to do now, because I'm gonna put a gate right here in the center. This section is not long enough to need an entire board in metal. So what I will do is, to make my life a little easier, I'll go ahead and put my board, attach it to here, you know, and go across, and then with all the overhang corral board and all the overhang metal, I can simply come by and cut the board with my saw, the metal with my bolt cutters, and I can make sure that I get all that stuff straight down this line over here where I'm going to put my gate. All right, so this is the dumbest thing that I have ever admitted about myself, but it has to be done, folks. And I know I'm not alone in this, but a lot of guys that do construction with a lot of vibration, they have to do this. But every time I cut this wire, it sends such a shock to my body that I end up gritting my teeth. And I take care of my teeth, and I don't want to do anything to break them or whatever. So here goes the dumb part. When I cut, I have to stick my tongue between my teeth, my top and bottom teeth, so I don't bite them. Yep. I know it may look dumb, but guess what? I have all my teeth. Just thought about that. How many redneck country boys my age do you know who still have all their teeth? And that's probably why. So Jamie, hate on. There. It is what it is. So I went ahead and cut that wire a little bit longer than I needed to, and that's okay because this is where my gate's going to hinge. So it's not going to be in the way, but I did not want to have those loose ends, those little scraggly ends that might get cut up on me or the animals or the kids if they're playing around or whatever. So, all right. Now it's time to do a little touch-up painting on these corral board, and then I'll hang my gate and I'll be done. All right, so the last thing I have to do, folks, is put my chain, and I'm trying to hammer left-handed to make sure I can video at the same time. Folks, I want to show you something that you may not realize. When you put your chain latch, you have to put the chain latch to where it pulls away from the animals and latches on the side opposite the animals. So being that it's on this side, the side away from the animals, they can't take their little mouths and play around with it and unlatch it. Had I put this on the other side, they could have unlatched it. And guess how I learned that? From lots and lots of open gates and never realizing how they got out. All right, so we're gonna end this video the same way we started it, showing you a picture of the beautiful fence. And I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any needs around your own property to build some kind of a fence, then you have an idea of how we do ours. And I want to thank my help here, because I could not have done all this had it not been for Pig Trudy's support. She's been with me all day, and she's still going. Paint and all. She's a painter, folks.